When it comes to spotting narcissists, many of us think of arrogance, self-centeredness, and maybe someone who just loves talking about themselves. But the truth is that recognizing a narcissist isn't always that straightforward. Some people with narcissistic tendencies might not flaunt their traits openly, hiding them behind charm, confidence, and even acts of kindness. By the time their true nature emerges, you might already be emotionally invested, manipulated, or hurt. In fact, most people never see the warning signs until it's too late. But what if you could spot these signs early, before getting involved, before the heartbreak, and before they cause any damage in your life? Imagine being able to recognize a narcissist just from a few early cues and avoiding the emotional roller coaster they often bring. These people know how to disguise their true selves, and they can be very convincing. They may come off as highly charismatic, generous, and even deeply attentive, making it challenging to see through their mask. But some subtle, telltale signs can help you spot a narcissist early on, saving you from emotional turmoil down the line. We'll walk through the nuances of narcissistic behaviors and help you become one of the few, only 1% of people, who can recognize these signs before it's too late. So if you're ready to dive deep, stay tuned. You won't want to miss any of this. And before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, and share this video. This way, you'll always have access to crucial insights on topics like this, and you'll help others learn how to protect themselves from toxic personalities too. Now, let's get into the signs you need to look out for. 1. Love bombing, the too good to be true phase. The first phase of almost every relationship with a narcissist feels magical. You may feel like you've met your soulmate, someone who understands you, appreciates you, and showers you with admiration. They may surprise you with gifts, call you constantly, and tell you how much you mean to them almost instantly. This overwhelming affection is known as love bombing, and while it may feel wonderful initially, it's actually one of the most manipulative tactics a narcissist uses. Love bombing is a way for narcissists to hook their victims emotionally and quickly. The intense focus they put on you feels flattering, but it's meant to make you dependent on their validation. Pay close attention to how fast a person tries to bond with you. If they're professing deep feelings early on, it might be a sign that their affection isn't as genuine as it seems. 2. A need for constant admiration. Narcissists crave admiration, almost like it's a necessity for survival. They'll often fish for compliments, seek reassurance, and want to be the center of attention. At first, this may come across as just confidence or a healthy dose of self-esteem. But if you notice they're consistently steering conversations back to themselves, or seem deeply affected when others don't give them attention, you may be seeing the narcissist's need for validation in action. This constant demand for admiration can become exhausting, especially as they often give very little in return. Unlike genuinely confident people who are secure in themselves, narcissists have an unending thirst for praise, which can often become very apparent once you know what to look for. 3. Lack of empathy, a telling sign. One of the most distinct traits of a narcissist is a profound lack of empathy. They struggle to see things from anyone else's perspective or understand others' emotions. Narcissists may seem compassionate at first glance, often because they've learned to mimic kindness or emotional responses. However, if you observe them closely, you'll likely see that their empathy is shallow or even entirely absent. A narcissist may become impatient or dismissive if someone else is going through a tough time, or they might only pretend to care as long as it makes them look good or gets them something in return. Pay attention to how they react when someone else is in need or hurting. This lack of genuine concern for others is often a huge red flag. 4. Gaslighting, twisting reality. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation tactic where a person makes you doubt your reality, memories, or perceptions. Narcissists are masterful at this, using it to control and destabilize you emotionally. They may tell you something didn't happen when it clearly did, dismiss your feelings as being too sensitive, or twist your words to make you look like the one at fault. The goal of gaslighting is to make you question your own experiences, giving the narcissist greater control over your perceptions and behavior. This form of manipulation is incredibly toxic and damaging, leaving many people feeling confused, doubtful, and anxious. If someone frequently leaves you feeling this way, take a step back and consider whether they might be gaslighting you. 5. Idealization, devaluation, and discard. The narcissist cycle. The relationship with a narcissist often follows a predictable cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. Initially, they put you on a pedestal, treating you as though you're the most important person in their world. This is the idealization phase, where everything seems perfect. But once they feel they've captured you emotionally, the devaluation phase begins. They may start criticizing you, undermining your confidence, and showing impatience or irritability. Finally, they reach the discard phase, where they emotionally distance themselves or abruptly end the relationship. Understanding this cycle can be invaluable in spotting a narcissist early. If you notice someone repeatedly putting others through this roller coaster of emotions, take it as a warning sign. 6. Grandiosity and exaggerated self-importance. A narcissist often has an inflated sense of their own importance and abilities. They may believe they're smarter, more talented, or more deserving than others, and have an over-the-top view of their own achievements. This grandiosity is more than just confidence. It's a deep-seated need to feel superior and unique. Listen carefully to how someone describes themselves and their accomplishments. Narcissists will frequently emphasize their uniqueness, intelligence, or talents to an extreme degree. They may belittle others' achievements and often present themselves as being above the typical rules or expectations that apply to everyone else. 7. Boundary violations. They don't respect your limits. Narcissists often ignore personal boundaries, believing that their needs and desires are more important than others. They may dismiss your preferences, ignore your personal space, or make decisions that affect you without asking. This disregard for boundaries is a form of control and shows a lack of respect for your autonomy. When you set a boundary, observe how they respond. A narcissist may react with irritation, anger, or attempt to guilt you into changing your mind. Healthy people respect boundaries, but narcissists see them as obstacles to getting what they want. 8. Quick to blame others. Accountability isn't a strong suit for narcissists. They often blame others for their problems, mistakes, or negative emotions. If something goes wrong, it's never their fault. This can manifest as a refusal to take responsibility for their actions, twisting facts, or shifting blame onto those around them. Narcissists rarely, if ever, admit fault. If someone consistently points fingers at others and avoids self-reflection, it could be a clear indication of narcissistic tendencies. Recognizing these signs can be challenging, especially when narcissists are so skilled at hiding them in the beginning. But once you know what to look for, you can protect yourself from becoming entangled in their manipulative web. By paying attention to these early warning signs, you're one step closer to safeguarding your emotional well-being. Thank you for watching, and remember, these insights are here to empower you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video if you found it helpful. And keep an eye out for more content that helps you live a healthier, happier life. Stay tuned and stay empowered.
Hey guys! Welcome back to the channel. Go ahead and slam that subscribe button if you're new here so you won't miss any of our delicious stuff. Today we're delving into a subject as fascinating as yet divisive. We're talking about how to make a narcissist fix on you, forever. To be clear, the term a narcissist is used somewhat frequently nowadays. True narcissistic personality disorder is a major mental health illness, hence it's crucial to understand. But when we refer to a narcissist in today's conversation, we are referring to someone who displays a lot of those self-centered, grandiose qualities that could cause relationships to seem to be an emotional roller coaster. If you have ever dealt with a narcissist, you know just what I mean. You might be wondering, why would someone wish a narcissist to fix on them? Relationships are complicated, Hence occasionally the power dynamics involved could cause us to desire to keep someone hooked on us, no matter how difficult they are. Alternatively, perhaps your only interest is in the psychological aspects of it. Whatever the cause, I'm here to offer some insight, not to criticize. How then could a narcissist fix on you? First of all, one has to grasp the mental processes of a narcissist. Narcissists get their kicks from approval and adulation. Always they must feel in charge and superior. Relationships are seen by them as means of supporting their self-importance. They will get more addicted the more you can feed into this urge while simultaneously keeping them somewhat off balance. Praise is one of the most powerful tools available to hook a narcissist. Narcissists exist for praise. Like oxygen, they are yearning respect. The hitch is, though, it must be the appropriate sort of accolades. You cannot say, you're great. They should feel as though they are the best at whatever it is they do. If they enjoy exercise, for instance, compliment their body in a way that nobody else would. Tell them they are the height of physical excellence rather than merely fit. Stroke their ego, but do it in a way that feels particular and personal. Still, avoid depending simply on compliments. Often drawn to what they cannot completely have are narcissists. They flourish on a challenge and like the pursuit. You cannot thus be too accessible. Should you consistently respond to their calls or texts immediately, they could come to be taken for granted. Rather, make them work for your viewing. Be a little enigmatic. Let them speculate about your plans and company of business. This will keep them alert and continually considering you. One further strategy is to imitate their actions. People who mirror back at narcissists their own traits draw them in. If they are charming, then be charming. If they're confident, project confidence. Reflecting their features helps you to become an irresistible extension of their own self-image. It's crucial, though, to strike a balance with times when you quietly express your independence. Recall that narcissists revere strength even as they prefer to be in charge. They will be intrigued if they perceive you not totally under their control. Show them your own life, your own interests, and your own friend list. This will make them more infatuated since they will feel as though they have to work more to win you over. Here, then, is a key component of the plan: sporadic reinforcement. This psychological weapon is really strong. One should alternate between drawing back and paying them attention. For a few days, for instance, show them compliments and affection. Then, all of a sudden, distance separates you. They won't know what hit them, and they'll get fixated on finding out how to re-enter your good graces. They are always seeking your favor, which keeps them hooked. Furthermore noteworthy is the fact that narcissists find great attraction in those with a lot on offer. Whether in your social life, hobbies, or profession, your personal achievement will appeal more to them. Narcissists seek to be connected to winners. They will be even more fixated on you if they believe you can help them to improve their position. So ensure you're living your best life for yourself as well as for the narcissist. They will want to be around you more, especially the more successful and confident you are. One other important thing is to never openly undermine their ego. Underneath that great facade, narcissists have brittle self-esteem. Should you make them feel inadequate or criticize them, they will either withdraw or become hostile. If you must set a limit or disagree with them, then do it in a way that doesn't directly compromise their self-image. Saying, I see it differently, for instance, instead than you're wrong. You are thereby keeping your ground without immediately challenging their ego. You would be correct if you now find that all of this seems somewhat manipulative. You should know your ethical limits and driving forces. Playing mind games can be a steep slope, so you have to weigh if the emotional toll it could cause on the narcissist as well as yourself. Relationships ought to be based on mutual respect and understanding, not on control and manipulation after all. Let's say, however, you're already in too deep or you're actually curious about how to grab the attention of a narcissist. In such situation, you also have to control your own expectations. Though they can be really charming and captivating, narcissists can also be toxic and exhausting. If you're headed down this road, be sure you're doing it with open eyes and a clear awareness of what you're entering into. Said otherwise, A small distance can go a great way. If you can establish just enough emotional distance, narcissists, who typically yearn for what they cannot fully have, may start to need you even more. This means keeping an air of autonomy and self-sufficiency rather than constantly striving hard to gather all the answers. Show them you are not totally reliant on their approval. They will probably find you even more appealing. Being erratic is another advice. Narcissists find great delight in novelty and excitement. If you do the same thing all the time, they could grow bored and begin seeking stimulation elsewhere. Mix things up, spontaneous travels, new hobbies, or surprise them in little ways. Keeps them wondering. People will be more fascinated by you the more erratic you are. Still, it's important to monitor your personal wellness along this process. Emotionally taxing, narcissists can be difficult to maintain engaged in, so you may easily lose yourself. Make sure you're attending to your own needs and not compromising your mental health to keep someone else hooked. You should know when to go if you ever feel as though your relationship is growing overly poisonous or taxing. There is nothing worth losing oneself over from any degree of fanaticism. In a healthy relationship, both partners feel appreciated and supported. Should that not be what you are experiencing, it could be advisable to review the reasons behind your desire to keep this individual in your life. At last, keep in mind that you deserve someone who loves and values you for who you are, not only for the way you make them feel about themselves. Though true love is based on mutual respect and understanding, narcissists may be quite convincing. Should you not be obtaining it, you could want to think about whether this is truly the type of connection you desire. And that wraps